Hey, so yeah, as the video title shows and the thumbnail, you know what this video is about. It's about the passing of Queen Elizabeth II and kind of like Nintendo UK's response to that and kind of what that means in terms of their direct. If you keep tabs on all of this stuff, you'll know that there's been a direct rumour for a while now with folks like Jeff Grubb, Liam Robertson and Emily Rogers all kind of corroborating it, all pointing towards it being taking place in the week of September the 12th, which is where we now find ourselves. However, obviously last week something quite monumentous happened. The monarch of the United Kingdom passed away on Thursday, September the 8th at the age of 96. Yes, not particularly a huge surprise at that age, but hey, it does seem to have rocked the core of the nation, or that is what the mainstream media would have you think, at least in the way it's been covered. Yeah, normality's kind of gone completely out the window here, so I thought I'd just kind of touch upon Nintendo's response to that. But first, tea. Right, so yes, like I said, normality has gone out the window here. Like a lot of live events and stuff aren't going ahead, like the English Premier League. Like a lot of the games there have been postponed. Like a lot of comedy and gigs and things like that have all been pushed back. Like a half marathon I signed up for in 2019, which got delayed in 2020 because of COVID, delayed again in 2021 because of COVID, was deliberating cancelling because it's taking place like next week or whatever, as a result of this national period of mourning. So yes, a lot of things are up in the air and it's not normal. You can't watch the BBC without all the normal programming being completely wiped off the slate for round-the-clock coverage of this, basically. So, yes, this is kind of just thought I'd look at what Nintendo have said as a result of it. So, she passed away last week. There was a rumoured direct, obviously, for this week, which has now since been confirmed. Nintendo UK today said on their Twitter, "As a mark of respect, during this period of national mourning, we will not live stream tomorrow's Nintendo Direct. It will be published as a video on demand on our YouTube channel at 4 o'clock UK time tomorrow." And I think, honestly, that would have been fine if that was the case everywhere, but it's not. Instead of just it being like a video on demand for the entire globe, no, this is just a decision for the UK. So it's about as effective as a wet paper bag. It doesn't really hold much. I mean, it's some sort of gesture that they're trying to make, and to be fair, it's fairly mild in comparison. I mean, there's been a lot of weird, cringy brand tweets over the last few days off the back of the off the back of the Queen passing away. So this one is mild in comparison, but still, it does feel a little bit performative because it doesn't actually achieve anything. I don't know. Basically, that's what they've said. So yeah, let's explain it. They've said it's a national period of mourning, and yeah, that is exactly what's going ahead, because her funeral will be taking place on next week on the 19th of September. As such, the UK is currently observing a national period of mourning for 10 days. That's between when she died and when her funeral is going to be next week. So yeah, like I said just a little bit earlier, as such, there's like a lot of events have been cancelled, the TV schedule's been thrown out the window, and normality isn't a thing. So there's loads of stuff on this here if you want to dig into kind of the how, why and what, if you're into that sort of stuff. I'm not particularly, so I won't go into it here, but yeah. So that's what Nintendo have said, and like I said, I think that would have been fine if that was the case everywhere, but it isn't, so it doesn't really do anything. Yeah, we all really want a Nintendo Direct, so I am really glad they didn't just outright cancel this, because normality in some sense needs to go on. I mean, it's absurd, the kind of... Anyway. Yeah, it's effective in doing pretty much nothing. Because if I want to watch this at 3 o'clock tomorrow, which is actually when it's going live all around the world, I can do. So yeah, let me just be clear. In America, this Nintendo Direct will be going live at 3 o'clock UK time. But in the UK, if I only could access, for example, like Nintendo UK's YouTube, I couldn't watch it until 4 o'clock when the VOD goes up. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't do anything, right? I mean, Nintendo's Direct tomorrow will be live at 3 o'clock UK time all around the world, apart from in the UK where it'll be viewable at 4 o'clock as a video instead of it being live. And part of the reason for that might be that they didn't want to have like the optics of like a live chat going across a YouTube video, you know, with just like nasty comments about the Queen or like trolls, and Nintendo just didn't want to kind of have to deal with the kind of how that looks. And that's one approach, maybe. That's the only kind of thing that I can think of. But this kind of weird duality where it's going ahead, but in the UK you don't get to watch it live, but everywhere else you do, is a bit odd. And it's also that's not how it works out, because I can just go to Nintendo of America's YouTube channel and watch it there, which is what I'll be doing. So I don't really get this. It feels like they felt like they need to do something. They didn't want to cancel it, so they needed to do something, and this was some sort of weird compromise, kind of halfway house compromise. And yeah, I don't know, it's just a bit odd. I mean, like, what we got here? Yeah, Laura Kate Dale saying it's a genuinely surprising move, and I kind of think it is, because it doesn't really achieve anything. It's weird. She says here, it's a super weird move for a few reasons. It's still streaming in English on NOA's accounts, exactly. So they're just releasing it an hour late, and they're not even pushed it out, because like it's just odd. It feels fairly performative and doesn't really achieve much. Someone's asking here. She's got a great YouTube channel actually. Is this whole like thing that the whole UK kind of getting behind, or is it kind of pushed on them by the media? And it's very much the latter. I mean, if you are very upset about this and you find it very upsetting, then that's fine. That's with you. That's no problem at all. But as for why they're doing this kind of halfway house, I'm sure if you are like a staunch monarchist, you'd rather they cancel it, surely, So this kind of halfway house doesn't really please anybody. It's yeah. She kind of goes on here to say that it kind of feels like forced nationalism, not Nintendo's move, just the kind of national kind of grieving thing and how it's being portrayed in the media. What else we got here? Yeah, what is it about the act of doing it live that makes it disrespectful? Like, the logic of this is kind of odd, right? I agree. And obviously there's been countless memes off the back of all of this, and it's just basically that's kind of how I've been this week, There's jokes, non-stop jokes, and it's just like... But yeah, so that was kind of it really. I just thought it was a bit odd that Nintendo were kind of taking this approach. I thought I'd kind of explain why it is the way they're doing that, and just kind of leave it at that really, because what else is there to say? I think it's kind of an odd wrinkle of Nintendo's history, and I wanted to get a quick video out just to kind of put something out there that kind of said this is what they did at the time, because it's one of those kind of small details that could get lost to time, isn't it? Because everywhere else in the world, this is just going to be a normal direct that everyone's going to watch at 3 o'clock UK time and have a good time. So yeah, that's all I've got to say today. Let me know in the comments what you're looking forward to in this direct, and if you live in the UK, are you going to be watching it in another region live? Are you one of those naughty people who's going to be I don't know, yeah. Let me know. Cheers.